Okay, so the last problem we're going to do here is the same idea, similar idea. We have two boats. And the two boats are 1 kilometer apart. So I have boat A is right here, and boat B is right here. These are 1 kilometer apart. So they can sense that there's a whale in the water. And the radar is saying that the whale is less than 1 kilometer from boat A. So this is 1 kilometer, right? This boat to this boat is going to be 1 kilometer. Now it says the whale is less than 1 kilometer, but we know that less than 1 kilometer could be 0.9999999. So we can't really get as close as we can without just being at 1 and just knowing that, okay, we don't actually want to count 1. We're just going to count everything less than it. So let's see, I'm just sort of going to roughly, I just kind of rough out a circle for that. Okay, that's my circle that's 1 kilometer from boat A. And then the whale is also less than 1 kilometer from boat B. So again, here's 1 kilometer. We're going to do a circle that's 1 kilometer away, knowing that the whale has to be less than 1 kilometer. So if we think about it, if I'm standing here at boat A, anything in this circle, not including the very edge, right? Anything within that circle is less than 1 kilometer from boat A. Well, if I look at boat B, anything in this circle is less than 1 kilometer from boat B. So we want to think about, if we know the whale is less than 1 kilometer from both of them, where does it have to be? Well, hopefully the way I shaded it kind of helped you. But it's going to be in this area here, right? So these parts right here are less than 1 kilometer from A and B. For example, this point over here is less than 1 kilometer from A, but it's too far from B. So right in here is going to be less than 1 kilometer from both A and B. Okay. So that's really what we talked about. We talked about the parts of the circle, kind of how they intersect. Again, we're going to talk more about it on Wednesday and in a later video. So here's what I want you to do on your own. I want you to find something circular at home. Okay, it could be the lid of a yogurt top. It could be a coin. It could be the top of a can of peas. It could be whatever you find that's circular. Okay, I just happen to have this jar lid here. And so I want you to do two things. I want you to measure the circumference and the diameter. Okay, and this is on your to-do list also. So hopefully you saw it already. But let me just kind of refresh your memory or help you figure this out. So the diameter is going to go straight across the middle. Now, sometimes if you have a can or something, there'll be like a little spot in the middle that'll help you. If not, just try to figure out where the middle is. Because obviously if you measure like here, it's going to be a lot shorter than the middle, right? The middle, the diameter is going to be the largest point across it. So just do your best. You can use a ruler for that if you have one. If you don't have a ruler, you can, I'll show you another way to do it. So you can also just take a piece of paper or a piece of string or something. You could measure that and then put, a little mark right at the end of it. Okay. Then you want to go and measure the circumference. So for that, you will need something flexible. You might have a cloth tape measure at home. If you don't, again, take a piece of paper or a piece of string. This paper isn't actually long enough, but take a piece of paper, wrap it around, and then same thing, hold it up to a ruler, right, to see how far it is. Now be really careful and exact with this. So if you see my lid has like a little lip right here. So if I'm going to wrap it around the outside of that lip, then when I do the diameter, I need to make sure I go from edge to edge. Or if I'm doing this inner part here, then make sure that's where I do my diameter. Okay. Now, if you don't have a ruler, you can probably pretty easily find an app So I have an app on my phone called Army Knife for Android that has all this stuff on it, timer and compass and whatever. So it has a ruler. Obviously you can't zoom the ruler because then it wouldn't be the right dimensions, right? But it has a little ruler. So if I measured my diameter and I knew it went to here on my paper, then I could hold this up to this ruler. Now I might have to like make a mark and then scoot the paper up, but that could measure it. I really don't care if you measure it in centimeters or inches, as long as you're consistent and really, really careful with your measurement. So try to be as precise as you can be with your measurement, okay? Try to be really, really precise so you get the best measurement you can. And then, once you've gotten those two, so you're not going to hand this in, but I would like you to just write it down somewhere. So maybe I might ask you to just like send in your measurements, but you don't have to actually like take a picture of it or anything. So I then want you to take the circumference and divide it by the diameter and see what you get. Okay, so you're going to measure the circumference, you're going to measure the diameter, and then you're going to divide circumference by diameter. If you're really, really, really precise with your measurement, you might get an answer here that kind of helps you figure out why I asked you to do this. And you might even want to try it a couple times with different things, okay? That's kind of the ideal. That's what we would do in class, is do it a few different times with, a smaller object and a bigger object, just all different shaped circles, okay? All right, so we're done with this video, and we will have Zoom on Wednesday morning. And either later tonight or tomorrow, I will have the homework up also for the week. All right. As always, email me if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.